Cek. Oke. Ready on. Oh iya. Yap, agak ngelag seperti biasa. Seperti biasa.
Boring. Isn't there anything else more interesting to do?
Quick count ya kali ini nyebutnya. Quick count. Oke. Quick count. Lu mau ngomong dulu press ya? Kalau saya lupa quick count dulu press. Pasti.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
Oke. Ya 1 bulan hampir nggak gitu apa kan pekerjaan gitu. Mantap.
Being too popular can be such a hassle. Who knew the people would adore me so much?
Oke, tapi intinya tadi Genshin ya, MASKU ya. X ya bukan Kian. Oke.
Boring. Isn't there anything else more interesting to do?
Oke, mungkin waktunya nge-collect aja lah, nge-collect video aja. Oke, nge-collect video aja kayaknya. Oke, bentar. Setting bentar ya, Mas ya. Oke. Lanjut. Apa? Gedein gas dulu. Gedein apalagi. Postpone. Always postpone.
Please speak. Okay. Why do we want some actions now?
Anemona Smithy. Okay. Oops.
How can I improve my color? Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What do you have to
Sini.
Come take a look.
reasonable. Marathon. Jawat. Mana enakan ya? Ini dia. Yoshiyori Island. Cukup jauh tapi lumayan. Cukup jauh. Cukup jauh. Habis itu segera kelarin atau apa? Cerita dulu deh, baru baru mainin event-event yang ada.
I see everything. How dare you! Hey! Let my name echo in song!
Time to go. The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Kayaknya mana-mana aja. Kayaknya kalau frame rate ini emang gitu kali. Oke. Berarti emang beatnya bit rate-nya dinaikin berarti emang biar nggak pecah. Naikin bit rate, emang harus dinaikin bit rate. Oke. Bentar, kalkulator sebentar. Ada yang perlu sedikit dihitung. Oke, 225 dikali 30. 7 juta lumayan. Oke. Sini kan. Wah, pakai pelin aja biar yang di udara ya. Melayang bisa jalan di air ya. Juga.
My lucky day.
I see everything.
Shine down.
Strike a pose.
The fairy. The fairy.
Everyone hold hands.
Illusion shot. One with nature.
Oke. Mission nanti. Oh, udah deh, commission selesai. Oke. Bisa selesai berarti langsung aja ke Liyue aja biar cepet. Langsung aja ke Liyue. Langsung aja ke Liyue. Wah, jatuh. Berubah posisi kaki langsung jatuh. Oh iya, lupa dia kan di situ kemarin.
Add Astra. Thank you for Add
Oke,
Astra.
sudah. Lalu langsung ke questnya Cloud Retainer. Langsung aja quest Cloud Retainer. Cloud Retainer itu gue cuma perlu ke Genshin. Yap. Kalau kita mau Neng Shinhe kali ya. Jadi kita langsung mulai recording aja. Oke, recording sudah. Oke. Kalau salah sini kan ketemu Ganyu dulu ya, baru ketemu Shinhei ya. Yah, mati. Terjun bebas. Waduh. Terjun bebas.
We're almost at Weihai Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see Cloud Retainer like this? Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go?
She's back there.
Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here. You two can go and meet with her.
But why? Isn't it better if we all go together?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop everything to attend to one's visit. One fears that would only result in her staying up all night to make up for lost time. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice. Do remember to inquire as to her recent well-being. Again, do not mention one's presence here.
Fair enough, makes sense. All right then, we'll just pass on your regards and...
Cloud Retainer?
Cloud Retainer. Loh.
Oh, busted.
Busted. Tertangkap.
Is that lady someone you know, Miss Ganyu?
She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but could we delay the upcoming meeting for a little bit? I believe my schedule today is quite full. Although, perhaps I could move some work to later in the evening.
Oh, not to worry, Miss Ganyu. I'll make the necessary arrangements right away.
Thank you, Huixin.
Huixin.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
You are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak. One is simply a mere mortal passerby.
Seems she's not buying it.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
Oke. Liwe.
But recognizing you is, my responsibility as your disciple.
An apt observation.
Asik.
One was simply passing by while attending to some important business. One thought it would
Business.
only be fitting to pay you a visit while in the area.
Wait, Paima wasn't aware of any important. Cloud Retainer's right! We've still got something super important to do, so we can't stay here for too long today.
Oh, is that so? But it's been so long since we last saw each other.
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work. A quick conversation should suffice for today. A more involved reunion should wait until you find yourself less occupied.
I understand. That should be fine.
Occupied.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. Though Adepti blood flows through your veins, excessive exhaustion will still cause grave harm to your body. It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent. When you were young, you oft begged one to cuddle you to sleep when you suffered from nightmares.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
If you insist. We
Short
are running
time.
short on time regardless, so one will refrain from going into each and every story. Why don't you continue your conversation? One shall simply stand by and listen.
Okay.
Wow, you've been to so many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything,
Yuhai Pavilion.
please just come find me at Yuehai Pavilion. Also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer. But if you plan to continue appearing in this form, don't you think it'd be helpful to adopt a human name?
A human
name.
name? Huh. You raise a valid point. Considering the sheer extent of one's renown, Cloud Retainer is surely too recognizable as a name.
You really think so? Not that you're not famous or anything, but that famous?
That famous.
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements. One would hardly think such a thing to be possible. Nevertheless, Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored. From this point on, when in public occasions, be sure to refer to one as Shenyun.
Tianyun?
Xianyun.
I assume that's a reference to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered. The writer referenced Master's name to describe her carefree and spontaneous nature.
Oh,
Xianyun.
that sounds super cool!
Super cool.
Paimon feels like only the most powerful of Adepti could rise with the clouds and rest with the moon.
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
Hindi kacangin ka.
And what of it? Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
A bird.
Not exactly.
Burung.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. The tales of her past can only be found in ancient texts. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Left with no choice, many people left their homes, while others spent day and night praying to the Adepti. Although I did not live through such
Adepti.
tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the pain and desperation during that time. On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. If not for Cloud Retainer's efforts, much of Liyue would be nothing more than a barren wasteland today.
Barren wasteland.
The books had this to say about what happened. Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately, the clouds gathered together, and abundant rain burst forth from the heavens. Drought and plague were both driven away, and the people were saved.
Oh.
That's incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events.
Mila.
One did merely what one ought. And even if one had not interceded, the other Adepti would surely have stepped in to help.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Can you really control the weather like the book said? Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you. So it was Paimon's bad for calling you Illuminated Bird before. You're not
Illuminated
too mad,
Bird.
are you?
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world. Why would one be offended by such a trivial matter?
That's a relief. In that case, Paimon will continue to call you whatever feels right in the moment.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now.
Aduh.
Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Have you any thoughts on her workplace? And what, pray tell, of her monthly remuneration? Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work? Is she allowed time off during Lantern Rite?
That
Ianyun.
is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. I introduced Shenhe to her employer personally. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently.
Wanmin.
So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers, and Shangling still off and out in search of new recipes, I introduced Shenhe to staff the restaurant.
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Shangling is kind and astute, while her father is loyal and reliable. One has no cause to believe that they will make Shenhe's work difficult. Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon. One shall visit Wanmin Restaurant in person and see how
Wanmin
Shenhe is
Restaurant.
doing.
Huh? But didn't you just say that you had something important to do?
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Ganyu. One shall see to this matter on one's own. There will be many an occasion to dine together in the future. One is certain the opportunity shall present itself most readily.
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See you around, Ganyu! Paimon was pretty quick on the uptake there, don't you think? As soon as you mentioned important business to attend to, Paimon realized that you were just looking to cut the conversation short and not take too much of Ganyu's time. Is Paimon right?
No, in fact, it was not an excuse. One is indeed visiting Liyue Harbor for an important purpose.
Wait, for real?
The moment is not yet upon us. Still, the truth will be revealed to you in time.
She really seems to be playing up the whole mysterious Adeptus thing right now. Is it because we just heard that cool story about her powers?
Adepti power. Oh, there she is.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, huh?
Fine lady.
I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes. Hey, how about you ask her?
You do it.
No. I think you should. Wait, she's coming.
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing to...
What would you like to order?
2 servings of Mora meat to go. Good chat. Bye.
Ya, cekling-cekling. Ditekan gila.
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line. It's weird.
Oh, and this is?
This is Miss Xianyun.
Master?
Master.
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years. I would recognize you no matter what form you take.
Asik.
You...
Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came to check on your well-being.
And check out the great food, too!
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Sheesh.
Well, if it isn't the traveler in Paimon, are you here for Shenhe? The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends. I'll let you know if things pick up.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
Sheesh. Belakang.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human.
Accommodating human.
Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far.
Manageable.
I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Oh, how should Paimon put this?
Sound reasonable enough.
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Just as expected of Master. I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
Whoa, her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Ganyu?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Master's past.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter, please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh, what kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again?
Electro-powered
an
bicycle.
electro-powered bicycle?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events. Anyway, do go on, Shenhe.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a race without spectators, after all?
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous. What is the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth, and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird again. I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real cloud retainer?
To me, they are both, Master. One is the master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the master that I respect and adore.
Sick.
One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question the sincerity of your estimations. This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit, yet one places little weight in such judgments.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple, and it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
Fish stew. Wow.
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
Alright, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shenhe.
Lunchtime rush.
I'll try my best.
Sick. Cantik. Es and Luxio.
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize the next generation of supreme cuisine machines.
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny? But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here? My poor legs can't go on for much longer.
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
mind. What about you guys?
Terbang.
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Yuandai.
Granny?
Yep. Is there something wrong with that?
No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears.
Yuandai. Ada.
Granny, why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Stare.
Huh. Have we met before?
Asik.
No. 'Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
Asik.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that?
Can't hurt to ask.
Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too.
Can't hurt to ask.
Need any help?
Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. She's always saying things that sound kinda confusing. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning. They died young. It's just me and Granny now.
Oh,
but it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got.
wow. You're really tough for your age, kid.
Kid?
You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things.
Bikun.
Wait, what was that really important thing again? Ah, I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me. She told me to come and find her, and that once I'd found her, I would be free.
Huh? That sounds super important. But how come you've never told me about it before?
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now, and somehow I remembered it again.
Good mood.
You know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But just how many times have I had it? Now that I do not remember.
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Does that mean you're possessed?
Gila. Kesurupan. Edan.
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
Huh, you're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me. But not as I am now. My younger self.
A younger version of Granny?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave the situation to me.
Are you sure?
Nona tampan. Nona tampan. Nona
So, what are your names?
Ianyun.
Paimon's Paimon.
Traveler.
Just Shenyun is fine.
Ianyun.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to pay you back?
Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But Miss Yenyun, all we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds, and the emerald mountain streams.
Okay, taking that as a no.
I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
A martial arts heroine?
Shinchu.
Oh, Shincho knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want, I'll just get a few different things.
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler?
Madam Ping.
Oh, you mean Madam Ping!
Madam Ping.
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Madam Ping.
Always wanted to try this place.
The food is unbelievable.
Okay. Whatever happens, happens. Just have fun today.
Today is my
Kosong, waktunya kosong. Mumpung ada waktu kosong. Iya, mainkan saja. Mumpung waktunya ada di dan waktu kosong. Kalau jarang-jarang waktu kosong. Oh, kira situ. Tapi nggak apa.
Huh. It's you two. What brings you here?
Shincho! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
Oh.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits in bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her name. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that's somewhat helpful.
Thanks a lot, Xingqiu. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story, but it was just out of personal curiosity.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait, Xingqiu, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Let me think.
Associated.
In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Qingyun Peak.
Qingyun Peak.
Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her. You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors that she became extremely ill. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar? Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
Drought.
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them. Like by cultivating the soil or digging canals.
Digging canals.
So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return. Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation.
Devastation.
Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. So sad that she can't recall any of it. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu. Thank you so much for your help.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
Madam Pink. Gue cepetin jadi siang aja kali biar enak ambilnya ya. Ntar waktunya gue ke siang dulu deh. Bukan ke siang sih, ke pagi. Biar dapat videonya enakan. Ada beberapa tag kali ya. Di sini lalu kalian ambil tag yang ada gamingnya kali ya. Ya mungkin live ini mungkin ya waktu story aja dulu ya. Lalu live berikutnya baru ngejar game-gamenya.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, but Ping, what has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor, not unlike the one that you yourself lead?
It does not require as much as you may think. Still, do you mean that...
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful details?
Shinto has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yundai have joined up with us again.
Cloud Retainer.
Do not be troubled, young lady.
Here.
Here, have some tea.
Have some tea.
Thank you so much.
What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in her attic full of a bunch of weird sigils. I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature and at peace.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to
Pe
tell you.
untuk alo.
Let's
Alo,
go talk over there.
Pubertus. Alo, Bung. Gimana kabar Pubertus? Lama tidak bertemu ya. Sejak apa? Lama sekali tidak live stream kali Bung ya. Betul. Jadi lama tidak bertemu.
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant. But are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Oh! About that.
What do you say that? Okay.
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Shen Yun call herself an adeptus.
Oh, must have been a slip of the tongue. Shen Yun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain to Shuyu here what you really meant by that.
Ngejar story dulu, Bung.
One is indeed an adeptus.
Ngejar story.
Is that of some concern
ngejar
to
story,
you?
Habis itu ya. Oke, mainin apa namanya? Eventnya tapi ntar deh. Ngejar story aja dulu deh. Ngejar story dulu.
Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane. I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky. She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So, I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
Adeptus.
Pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Pure white.
Never has one met an Adeptus with such features. One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
Hyperbolic.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first.
Okay, I'll go get Granny.
Wangshu Inn. 1 kilo. Satu kilo jaraknya cukup jauh.
Wangshu Inn. Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window. Which room was it again? Let me look.
I'll come with.
Burung dan burung.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Wait, huh? Whoa! Shell! What are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form. I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Tapi apa namanya gacanya itu untuk dapetin gaming.
Oh wait, let
Gacanya
Paimon
untuk
take a
dapetin
guess. Was it
gaming.
anything like this?
Gacha tembus-tembusnya sih dapat karakter bintang 5 sih. Dapat karakter bintang 5, tetapi kan gacha di Cloud Retainer ya. Gua gacha di Cloud Retainer. Gua dapatnya itu, gua dapat di look. Berarti rate-nya gua sekarang rate-nya on. Jadi ya untuk gacha karakter berikutnya ya aman sih. Gua tetap nyimpen sampai apa namanya?
Cloud Retainer was not
tetap
always
nyimpen
as
sampai
ostentatious as you described.
ini apa namanya? Sampai
You
Archino
may be
keluar.
unaware,
Gua tetap nyimpen.
but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as
Lalu
formidable
gue
as her
gacha
skill in
lagi
mechanics.
di apa tuh di
The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death.
gue gacha di akun satu lagi
The
sih.
Cloud
Gue gacha di
Retainer who fought
akun satu
beside me in
lagi.
those devastating
Gue
battles
gacha Nahida
was taciturn
dan
and
ya
solemn.
dapatlah
Only
Nahida.
speaking when she had to
Gue dapet
activate her
Nahida
sigils.
jadi gue mulai mungkin udah apa? Gue mulai grinding lagi ya, untuk grinding lagi untuk Nahida. Gue mau grinding lagi untuk Nahida di akun satu lagi. Ya suka-suka dapet Nahida sih. Karena gue
Once one had
mau
bid
gacha
farewell to the world
apa?
of
Gue mau gacha Raiden
mortals,
Shogun gak
what
dapet.
use would one still
Karena
have for
gachanya
such a
kurang.
shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal
gitu.
world, a mortal form
Ada
is
Cino
hardly the
tinggal
most fitting of
ambil
choices.
dong. Yoi.
After the
Ada
war,
Cino tinggal ambil.
Cloud Retainer
Tapi
retired
sambil
to Mount
juga apa namanya sambil
only
mencoba
revealing herself to
nabung
the
lagi untuk bisa
occasional
dapatin
visitor.
weaponnya sih ya.
And always in her avian form.
Mau coba apa?
Although
Coba
I do
bisa dapatin
believe there was
weaponnya
an
lah.
occasion
Entar
some
pelan-pelan.
30 odd years ago
Nabung
when she
lagi
decided to don her
untuk bisa
human
dapetin gacha
form.
weaponnya.
I believe it was for
Kalau
the
untuk
purpose of...
Arlecchino-nya sih udah, gua udah ada.
believes there is little need to
Untuk
relive
Arlecchino-nya gue
bygone
sudah
matters.
ada, apa namanya, Primonya ya. Primonya sudah ada.
Back then,
Sekarang
at
tinggal
this
ngumpulin
place,
untuk weaponnya sih.
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall
Tinggal
take my
ngumpulin
leave
buat
now.
weaponnya sih.
Should you
Untuk
encounter
gacha
any
karakternya
trouble,
udah ada.
you need only call my
Gacha
name.
karakter sudah ada. Jadi gue tinggal
However,
ngumpulin
given
lagi
that
untuk
you are
weaponnya.
traveling with Cloud Retainer,
Ya semoga tidak sengsara lah
trust you
dapetin
are in
weaponnya
good
nanti lah.
hands.
Cuma itu doang harapan gue sih.
Everyone, I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
a long time ago,
Tinggal weapon sih.
stayed
Tinggal weapon sih
here
mau nabung banyak,
to
kalau sial ya
recuperate
sial.
from my illness.
Gitu lah, Bung.
So what she
Tapi
just said
gue
was
sih ya,
true.
gue
You
sih
did
ya
fall
100%
ill.
ya, 100% yakin gue bisa dapetin Arlecchino. Tinggal weaponnya aja sih. Tinggal
I-
weaponnya aja.
Don't remember. I'm very
Gue
sorry.
tinggal
But,
weaponnya aja.
but I
Tinggal
can't
Arlecchino.
even remember the name of
Berarti
my
nanti pas di
illness.
Chiori,
The
kan
only
abis ini
thing
kan
I
Chiori kan ya.
remember
Apa di
is
patch
that it
berikutnya kan
took a
Chiori,
great
gue juga
toll
apa
on
tetap nabung
me,
lagi, gue tetap nabung
and there
lagi,
was
baru
no cure for it.
nanti
I was
Arlecchino.
confined to my room in Wangshu Inn.
Untuk
where I
Chlorine,
spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every
agak
once
susah
in a
sih untuk
while
Chlorine
and
sih.
stare at the
Untuk Chlorine
migrating
gue
birds
kayaknya agak
outside the
susah
window.
karena setelah
was a
Arlecchino kan ada
solemn
Chlorine kan
sight.
ya.
I
Gue mau gacha
remember
Chlorine juga tapi kayaknya nanti
crying,
aja deh. Gue hold
but I'm
dulu
not
aja.
even sure I
Yang
knew
penting
why.
Arlecchino dapat dulu aja.
One day, I met a traveling
Yang
merchant.
penting Arlecchino
Upon
dapat
hearing
dulu.
of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul
EZ lah, kalah
revitalizing
tinggal
tea
gesek.
pills.
Gak gitu, Bung. Gak
He
gitu
told
lah.
me that the pills were
Gak begitu lah.
concocted using adepti
Kalau
blood
tinggal gesek gak
and
gitu lah,
could be
Bung. Gak gitu
used
lah.
to alleviate my
Gesek-gesek juga
symptoms.
sengsara juga kan.
But if
Kalau
your
kita nggak
illness
belum
remained
ngumpulin
dormant
duitnya.
for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago?
Nggak berarti kalah gesek
And it
juga
was
sih, Bung.
all thanks to the pills
berarti
that
gitu
you
lah.
managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Menurutmu pick Kazuha apa Nopal?
If only I
Gua bingung.
wasn't so useless.
Kazuha apa Nopal?
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me.
Kalau misalnya
Watch me grow
punya
up,
Raiden Shogun
raised me.
atau
How could you say
Nahida,
that about yourself?
ambil Nopal sih.
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny
Kalau
was
punya,
just a
kalau
bit
udah punya Raiden Shogun
frustrated.
atau nggak
That's
Nahida,
all.
ambil Nopal aja
The
sih.
recovery of a person's memories is a
Tapi kalau
gradual
gue ingat ya,
process. Finding
Nopal aja sih.
pieces of
Ambil
one's
Nopal
past
aja.
is always superior
Nopal.
to not finding anything at all.
Ambil Nopal.
Let us make haste to the next location.
Kazuha. Harusnya bagus juga sih, tapi kalau menurut gue sih ya ambil Nopal sih kalau misalnya punya Nahida atau nggak apapun itulah bisa jadi gitu.
Really a
Nopal
landmark there,
bagus,
so where
Nopal bagus
should we
damage-nya.
start?
Damage-nya ada enak, apalagi kalau gabung apalagi kalau punya apa tuh, punya
After
Nahida.
all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right?
Nopal.
Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today. At this
Tapi kayaknya
rate,
sih,
we'll
apa
recover
namanya,
all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time.
Untuk meta kedepannya sih nih ya, Bung ya. Kalau menurut gue sih untuk meta kedepannya Genshin ini itu berfokusnya kayaknya untuk di dua elemen, yaitu gabungan antara elemen pyro sama elemen elektro dicombine. Kayaknya apa namanya meta-metanya kayaknya seperti itu deh apa untuk kedepannya. Kalau menurut gue sih ya. Kalau menurut gue sih metanya itu apa antara elektro sama pyro. Meta di kedepannya. Soalnya kan apa kayaknya dengar rumor-rumor kan, bukan rumor sih. Si Chevreus itu kan dia kan komposisi timnya itu kan elektro sama pyro kan. Nah, dengar-dengar gue sih dengar rumornya untuk si Arlecchino itu ada hubungan juga dengan itu siapa namanya dengan elektro dengan pyro juga sih kombinasi timnya gitu sih. Lalu nanti untuk Loren rumor-rumor gitu juga sinergi karakter elektro dengan pyro ngebuffnya. Jadi kayaknya mungkin untuk beberapa patch ke depan sih kalau menurut gue sih ya antara karakter Pyro sama Electro sih ke depannya sih. Tapi itu sih yang gue tahu.
I don't remember this place at all.
Tapi kalau misalnya membuat nge-push apa tuh? Misalnya buat
before.
nge-push ini apa? Buat
Still,
nge-push
I was thinking
spiral habis sih kayaknya untuk ke depannya ini antara Electro sama
for a
Pyro sih.
game of hide and seek.
Huh? Why a game of hide and seek?
Tapi kalau misalnya kayak
I'm
gitu,
not sure.
ya
Maybe it's
mungkin
because
Kazuha juga bisa dipakai juga
I
sebenarnya
used
sih
to
karena untuk
play that
mengapply
game
salah
a
satu
lot
elemennya
with
gitu dia.
Shuyu when she was younger.
I don't remember playing it that much.
Tapi
Are
apa
you
ya
sure
namanya?
about that, Granny? We only played a few
Masalah mau
times.
pilih antara
and we
Kazuha
stopped
sama
once we
Nopal
realized
sebenarnya
I
sih
was
lebih
no
butuh
good
mana
at the
sih?
whole seeking part.
Ah, is that so?
Soalnya kan deket-deket ini kan
Then I
Nopal
must
keluar
be
nih.
mistaken.
Kazuha kayak masih
Not
agak
here,
lama
then.
deh.
Let's try somewhere else.
Kazuha kayaknya agak setelah Nopal baru Kazuha keluar. Soalnya deket-deket ini Nopal bakal keluar sih. Nopal bakal keluar nanti di patch berikutnya. Patch berikutnya Nopal bakal keluar. Ya, Nopal bakal keluar di patch berikutnya. Masalah di patch yang berikutnya di gelombang kedua deh. Di gelombang kedua itu Nopal. Kazuha gue belum ada info lagi sih. Keluarnya kapan? Kazuha gimana sih? Dekat-dekat ini Nopal sih yang gue tahu sih. Dekat-dekat ini Nopal keluar. Nopal setelah Kyori di fase kedua. Gitu, Bung. Kalian mau pilih Nopal atau Kazuha ya? Ya gimana itu sebenarnya sih dua-duanya sih bagus. Tapi kalau salah mau ngomongin untuk diprioritaskan ya apa ya? Nopal sebenarnya kalau menurut gue sih asalkan ada elemental reaction aja sebenarnya sih.
I remember. Shuyu, this is where your father was born. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back. I remember that night.
Kazuha kayaknya sih.
I remember
Kazuha aja
falling
dulu.
to my knees, reciting a prayer over and over.
Tapi Chiori cantik
I alone am the
Dia
source of
stylenya
this
sama
sin.
kayak ini dia apa namanya?
Punish me as you
Dia
wish for
gameplaynya itu
forsaking
sama
my
kayak
oath,
Al-Haitam.
but spare
Apa tuh?
my innocent
Gunakan double pedang. Dia
Oh,
gunakan double pedang. Jadi
Did
dia
you do something
dia
wrong?
itu kayak Al-Haitam.
I don't know.
Double sword.
I
Dia
don't
double sword kayak
remember.
Al-Haitam. Karena
I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out. Eventually,
kan next
the house
bahkan
was
ada
filled with the sound of my
3-in-1
baby's first
banner
cries.
kan ya. Hero
That
rerun gitu.
baby was your
Iya.
father.
Iya.
I remember
Rerun
I
ada
clutched
banner
him
tiga
tight to my
banner.
chest and
Tapi kalau
wept
nggak salah
tears of
bannernya
joy.
itu khusus
It was
untuk
the first time
banner
I'd ever
untuk di
felt
Mondstadt
such
dulu kalau nggak
happiness
salah
in
deh.
my life.
Yang gue taunya
He
itu
was my
banner
pride
satu
and
lagi itu tuh
joy.
banner
And
khusus
so are you,
banner
Shuyu.
khusus untuk di
You're
Mondstadt
so
dulu.
much like him,
Kalau nggak
and
salah
I
sih ya.
love you both so much.
Jadi itu nanti banner
But
yang satu
you're
lagi itu banner rerun, tapi banner
always
rerunnya tuh
going to
khusus
be different from
khusus
me.
karakter di satu negara satu negara.
Why?
Jadi kalau salah
what
Mondstadt
did I
nanti
do?
Mondstadt semua karakternya.
I don't care what
Kalau
you
salah
might
nanti
have
di
done,
Liyue
Gran.
nanti banner itu
You'll
akan
always be the
Liyue,
person I love more than
Inazuma
anything.
sama itu
You're
juga apa
too
sama
sweet,
itu
Shuyu.
sama
I'm lucky to
apa
have you
Sumeru
with
atau nggak
me.
Fontaine.
If
Tapi kalau
not
saya gue
for
denger sih
you,
kayak gitu sih.
I would not have
Karena kan
had the
dengar kan
courage to
nanti
come
kan yang di
here
rerun itu kan
to
Albedo
try
ya.
to
Berarti kan
remember
ya
what I had
mungkin sih
forgotten.
Mondstadt sih. Kalau
Alright.
karakter-karakter di Mondstadt.
Let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Qingyun Peak. You and I, how fares your health?
Lo bayangin udah PT hard masih gacha 3 hero. Iya sih. PT masih gacha 3 hero. Bisa itu lo ngejar berapa bulan? Kecil kayak ngasih primo banyak aja ngadain gitu. Konkestara lagi gila-gilaan tuh. Konkestara kan lagi gila-gilaan tuh dia ngasih itunya tuh apa namanya untuk gacanya. Kacau. Genshin Impact dikit banget dikasihnya.
We're finally here.
Dibandingkan itunya cuma
Does
10
this
kali.
place feel familiar to you, Granny, one day?
Let me
Ini cuma 20, itu kasih 20 enak banget ya. Konkestara curang juga ya.
How strange. Have I lived here before?
Kadang-kadang
When we were at
mengangkat nama
Wangshu
banget
Inn
yang
and
mereka
the
itu kan
abandoned
itu
house
apa namanya?
earlier, though I
Ini
couldn't
Genshin Impact,
remember
bukan Konkestara.
everything,
Tapi
I still
kayak begitu
felt
ya.
a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
But did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of. Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Yuendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember. Huh?
Halo Nero,
That way.
Ingin tiga udah mampir Nero.
What's that mountain?
Review ya bang. Oke, boleh.
Let Paimon look. Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsang?
Review
Looks like
ya.
we've come
Oke,
full
bentar ya
circle.
bang Nero ya. Bentar ya.
Mount Outsang. Mount Outsang.
Review ya Miko. Oke, siap.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't
Yai
remember.
Miko.
You shouldn't
Oke,
do
siap.
something that makes you sad.
Mount Outsang, What am I really?
Mount Outsang holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but I can't go back.
Are you feeling unwell?
My head, it feels all heavy and dizzy. What is wrong with me?
Ya Miko.
Cloud, Miss Yenyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsang.
But
Fret not, all will be well.
All will be well.
You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsang.
wait, really?
Outsang.
When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Asik, that good one. Oke, kita itu dulu apa kali ya? Bung Nero kali ya? Bisa cepet aja kali ya. Bung Nero. Apa namanya? 8686 1101 ya. Nero. Rin. Hizo, Rin namanya kan, Rin ya. Oke, langsung gas aja. Rin. Ya Miko, oke. Oke, ya Miko. Ya Miko. Bentar ya. Ambil lah. Oke. 61 237. Tinggi ya. Mantap. Oke. Oh, oke pakai Kagura Verity. Oke. Elektro attack persen. Oke. Channel 6 10 10. Oke. Kita aktifkan dulu kali ya. Elektro, oke. 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 Oh, bagus-bagus ya. Oh, tapi ininya saya kebanting, tapi nggak apa-apa sih. Oke, kalau lihat dari atributnya sih 54 ya. Attack-nya 954. Berarti dia nggak 1900 ya, gede ya. Oke, kalau dilihat dari itunya ya, statsnya ya, kalau dari statsnya sih ya oke sih. Dari statsnya oke, dari statsnya oke. Apa? Udah pakai ini siapa namanya? Udah pakai signature weaponnya kali ya. Ada pakai signature weapon sih, seharusnya sih nggak ada masalah sih ya. Harusnya nggak ada masalah. Dari artifak juga nggak ada masalah, tapi paling ya agak kebanting, agak ke ini kali ya, apa namanya, dapat yang ini agak jelek ya. Yang ininya walaupun kreatornya bagus ya, tapi ya nggak terlalu bagus banget sih. Tapi ya oke lah, oke. Tapi devnya tinggi banget ya, dapat devnya tinggi ya. Tapi ya nggak apa-apa, tapi ya kalau soal mau diubah lagi nggak apa sih, tapi ya udah oke sih. Kalau menurut gue sih sudah oke sih. Lalu dalam dari ininya bagus, ini oke. Oh, bagus ya. Oh, sayangnya di sini pakai gladiatornya itu di circlet sama bulu ya. Sebenarnya fatal di circlet sih. Ya, gitu. Oke, kalau set sih ya, sebenarnya sih ya intinya sih itu pakai Thundering Fury ya, 2 set, 2 piece ya, 2 piece. Sama umumnya itu kan 2 piece lagi itu kan tambah bonus attack 18% kan ya. Itu gitunya kan ya. Nah, tapi kalau menurut gue sih itu daripada 2 set artefaknya itu yang dapat tambahan attack 18% ya. Kalau menurut gue sih mendingan ini aja pakai set yang ininya dapat artefaknya itu dapatnya itu elemental mastery. Yang elemental mastery 80. Nah, kenapa? Karena ini karena Yamiko itu kan sebenarnya sih dibandingkan dengan menggunakan normal attack ya. Dengan menggunakan normal attack atau charge attack, ya walaupun sebenarnya juga masih cukup kepake sih ya. Tapi kan kita kan main rata-rata itu kan mainnya itu kan lebih ke elemental skillnya kan ya, lebih ke elemental skillnya. Nah di situ gue merasa lebih cocok di sini itu dinaikkan elemental mastery-nya, dinaikkan attack persennya ya. Karena kalau soal kita elemental mastery-nya lebih tinggi, istilahnya kan kalau misalnya kita menggunakan karakter itu kan tidak pastikan ada namanya kan elemental reaction kayaknya dengan karakter lain. Nah, kalau menurut gue sih tujuannya itu lebih ke arah elemental reaction saja dibandingkan attack ya, dibandingkan attack. Jadi kalau menurut gue sih mendingan sih ya naikin elemental master sih dibandingkan gunakan set yang attack ya. Nah, tapi sayangnya sini kalau misalnya mau ganti ke elemental master juga udah sayang sih, soalnya sini circletnya sih udah bagus circletnya, apalagi sudah ada tambahan elemental mastery ya. Apalagi sini circletnya bagus. Ini juga bagus sih sebenarnya sih ininya sih plumnya. Udah bagus sih. Jadi ya balik lagi sih ya, apa namanya, mau misalnya mau setnya tetap seperti ini juga oke-oke aja sih. Sudah bagus sih, sudah bagus. Sampai syukuran ini apa sudah 10-10 ya, apa namanya, elemental skill sama apa elemental burstnya ya, syukur sih. Jadi menurut gua sih ini Yamiko sudah bagus, ini Yamiko ini udah bagus banget ini Yamiko-nya sudah bagus banget sih ini. Paling walaupun masih ada chance untuk bisa dapetin crit damage lagi sih ya, masih ada chance untuk bisa dapetin crit damage lagi, tapi ya oke sih, udah cukup sih. Menurut gue sih udah cukup sih, sudah bagus ini, sudah bagus. Gitu kali ya Bung Nero kali ya. Menurut gue sih kurang lebih itu sudah bagus. Kalau Yamiko yang gue pakai itu ya nggak jauh-jauh sih, juga sama sih. Tapi crit rate-nya gue juga nggak terlalu tinggi sih. Crit rate yang gue pakai itu nggak terlalu tinggi. Rasanya kayak gue sih walaupun cuma pakai windshield lah ya, walaupun pakai windshield nggak terlalu bagus banget. Tapi bagus lah sih buat Yamiko. Ada elemental reactionnya sih. Tapi kalau sudah punya Geography sudah bagus sih. Gitu kali ya Bung Nero ya. Udah bagus sih itu, tinggal kalau misalnya mau memperbaiki itu tadi salah satu artefak yang dimana dapetin devnya itu sebesar 19% ya nggak ada masalah aja sih. Paling tinggal grinding dikit, habis itu di barter kan. Kalau itu kan bisa di barter itu. Ya tinggal dikit lagi lah kalau saya mau memperbaiki lah, tinggal dikit lagi sih. Masih ada chance untuk bisa naikin crit rate-nya sih. Crit damage. Masih ada chance untuk bisa naikin crit damage.
This is it. Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh, is it another invention of yours?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the suspensus somnium mechanism. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state. Soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia, its potential uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now? We could have come to Mount Atsang right off the bat and saved time on a lot of floating.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of assistance.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Oh, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after...
And you and I, is the mechanism helping you to relax?
Already.
It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
Nona cantik.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
The potion.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
I see.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should
Ada
have
tai juga
never.
berarti dia. Bukan ada apa tuh? Burung juga punya dia. Burung.
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny!
Nenek.
Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember everything. Everything.
Granny, please don't cry. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten
I once was
the truth of what I once was.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience.
Sheesh.
Claiming a truth
Look at that
long
body, man.
buried is sure to
Good.
come with a myriad
Nice
of
curve.
complex emotions. Perhaps one should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on. Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I love you more than anything.
I know, dear child. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me. Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by. Until that fateful day 50 years ago.
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast, nor adeptus.
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
Was it because Grandpa?
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side, so I...
Oh no. What happened next?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again. But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time. If it weren't for those soul-revitalizing tea pills, I probably would have...
Granny! What's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? No. It couldn't be. Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself. You knew where I was all along.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Rest of the tale.
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Wow.
Scatter!
Asik, yang gak lepas lagi cocok.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils was any better. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint and rarely left your side. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, glaring though they may have been. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the more dire effects of your illness. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
Acquaintance, rasanya ngeri. Wah, jatuh. Oke, lanjut lagi. Nyebur.
Skyward.
Jadi burung.
Skyward. Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with Adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night. Seize the skies! Inconsequent! Skyward! Scatter! Make way for the Adeptus!
Okay.
Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal matters remain foreign to me, one could not help but be moved by your joy. To see you happy, that was more than enough.
Happy. Happy, happy, happy. Taruh dulu sebentar. Ger. Lihat orang happy.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait, but if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale. Skyward! Scatter! Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other coloring. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, you and I was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognize the essence of her being. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one. Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all those cherished memories would merely have become the fictionalized account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was painful and arduous to experience. Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not bring me back to Mount Outsong by force?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains quite unchanged. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. One rather hopes you count yourself among them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own effort.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane.
Wild crane.
If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for. How much time do I have left?
Not long.
Not long. The transformation is imminent.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left. Please.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny. I'll do whatever you say.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together again. You and I. How's that sound?
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
Burung. Jadi burung atau tidak? Burung dengan rambut hijau.
You.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response to such an event. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must.
Take a nap.
One will wake you in due time.
elemennya berubah. Tidur. Burung terbang. Burung.
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me.
Gak ada Paimon gitu ya, kasihan ya.
If only things could stay this way forever.
If only.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up.
Burung dan kodok. Senengin burung gila ya.
Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Dia udah beberapa ratus tahun ya hidup.
Grilled chicken drumsticks. Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now?
Nyom nyom nyom. Nyom nyom nyom.
Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Madam Adeptus?
Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you feel?
Nom nom nom.
I feel...
better.
A little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus? Could I, ask you something? Would you take me in as a disciple?
Disciple.
Oh. And have you reasons for this sudden interest?
Oh.
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it. But without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No,
Master.
I mean, Master.
Chuyu, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chin-chin and violet grass. If you join them, you'll never enjoy Wanmin Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa! You're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai, they all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps some time in the harbor will prove instructive. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all. So, does this mean we can grab a meal together in Liyue Harbor sometime?
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one would not be opposed to the idea. One will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense insomnia mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting in meditation as you listen to its melodies. It might help you find a new perspective.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you.
Burung. Intinya itu burung. Tunggu 2 hari. Semoga saya berlanjutan dengan story yang itu sih. What? 1, 2. A day after tomorrow. Si ianyun. Oh, mungkin sini ketemu zombie kali ya. Master zombie. Oh. Oh yes, ketemu zombie.
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded. This is but a simple collection of ordinary valuables. Such intense scrutiny is hardly necessary.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. If I'm wrong, I would never be able to earn it back, not even if I worked every single day for the rest of my life. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Clow. Miss Shenyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched in my personal collection for several hundred years. To question their legitimacy is pure folly.
Several hundred years?
Indeed. They're family heirlooms, you see, passed down over many generations, as families are wont to do.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while. We can vouch for her on that one.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Another buyer?
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items. If you could wait but a moment, I've hired an expert to appraise them for me. He should be here shortly.
An expert, you say? Very well. I will wait for a little while longer then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence. If you have cause to seek my company in the future, this is where you can find me.
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello.
Shiryu! You got a new outfit! It looks great on you.
Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too.
Huh? You know how to make clothes?
Do I know how to make clothes? With the support of the proper mechanism, sewing is hardly a challenge.
Master, I brought in most of my stuff. There's a few boxes left, but they're kind of heavy, so I just left them outside.
Fret not. I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably sort through my stuff.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. No matter. Do what you must, child. Now, this expert you mentioned, when can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is! Here, allow me to make some introductions. This is Mr. Zhongli, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques. Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Shenyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
If it isn't Miss Shenyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhongli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest. The experiences left me with such insight and peace.
So you two are already acquainted?
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Shenyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser. She is well-versed in all fields, and oft celebrated for her impeccable taste. You stand to gain much from this opportunity.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail. I can say without a doubt that you are foremost in that regard.
Why, you flatter me, Miss Shenyun. It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
Not at all, Mr. Zhongli. Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship. Can I be certain that you're not working together to swindle me? I mean, you never know.
Huh! A preposterous accusation. The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Shenyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance, this transaction may be taken elsewhere.
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself? I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on the value of these items?
There is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. Few could hope to possess an item that so perfectly blends mechanical wonder with geometric grace. I'm sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world. With that in mind, I earnestly recommend procuring every last item in this collection.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, I shall, of course, trust your good opinion. Then, in that case, Miss Shenyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house.
Fiduciary.
Oh, very well.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays. In that case, I'll be off for now. I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Zhongli!
My friends, have you been doing well?
Friends.
We've been great! How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant!
My days have been quite pleasant as well. I had been quietly enjoying a cup of tea when Mr. Xiaozu requested my services. As for you, Miss Shenyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Shenyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you. Perhaps you could dispense of that particular epithet in further conversation.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it. One is hardly ignorant of that fact.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous stays were all brief. Now that one has made up one's mind to move and settle, one has gained a much better appreciation of the hubbub and commotion of the city, as well as the people's hard work and ardor. This city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential. In another 1,000 years, the scene we witness here may change in ways that are impossible for either of us to imagine.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together? One must profess great interest in trying bamboo shoot soup.
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion. Or perhaps our other companions simply availed themselves of faster reflexes on that occasion.
Huh! Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. In but a moment, one will show you what it means to have a true deftness of hand. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple-layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Shenhe and Ganyu to make a reservation. It is prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple. Is that agreeable to everyone?
Oh, you could do this.
It should be a most splendid occasion.
Shuyu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhengli.
That should be everyone, right? Let's go!
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff. Is that true?
That sounds rather implausible. Although with the right preparation, certain dishes can be too delicious to resist.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Oke. Sudah selesai. Bagus. Ceritanya bagus. Ceritanya bagus, jujur. Mantap jiwa. Oke. Berapa ya? Gue ngecek dulu. Bargain 131. Gue ada 10, 141. Partneran ini masih banyak. Sama Stardust gue punya 14. Aman. Oke, mantap. Aduh, berikutnya lanjut lagi cerita kali, langsung digas aja karena waktunya udah memepet ini untuk review horror. Jadi gue harus sedikit mempush event ya, gue harus segera mempush eventnya secepatnya. Langsung lanjut lagi ceritanya. Start recording. Tapi gue udah meng-unlock itu belum ya? Oh, belum nih. Gue baru unlock satu di sini, candi ini. Tapi sini gue unlock ya, nanti gampang. Unlock ya gampang.
Kuching and Charlotte. Paimon never thought she'd see you two together.
Nice to see you again, Traveler and Paimon.
Oh, we're not interrupting anything, are we?
Not at all. I wasn't in the middle of an interview or anything. I was just asking Miss Kuching about purchasing a kite.
A kite? Are you buying some regional specialties to bring back to Fontaine?
Fontaine?
Well, yes. And...
It seems you haven't heard yet. The theme of this year's lantern rite is kites.
Kites.
Oh, so that's why Paimon has seen so many floating in the sky.
Liyue Harbor is always changing, so it is only fitting that lantern rite should change in turn.
Kites.
The Qixing believes it would benefit Liyue to build on our own cultural foundation by embracing the technologies of other nations. After all, it is said that the stones of another mountain may serve to better polish one's own jade.
Yeah, remember my business meeting with Tianquan Ningguang the last time I was in Liyue Harbor? That's what it was about. But all I really did was use my network to introduce Lady Ningguang to some interesting people. I'm not sure that quite counts as fostering cooperation.
In the end, we decided to combine Liyue's traditional art of kite making with Fontaine's mechanical vertical lifting device.
Mechanical lifting device? Sounds pretty impressive. But don't kites just use the wind to fly? Why would you need to add something mechanical?
Well, you've actually just answered your own question, Paimon. How high and far a kite can fly depends as much on the weather conditions as on the skill of the person holding the string.
But as soon as there's no wind, you can only flail about helplessly like a sweet flower medaka out of water. Experience doesn't matter at that point.
Exactly. Liyue is now a nation ruled by humans, after all. It's about time we had the power to make a kite fly, don't you think? Plus, the easier we can make it to enjoy, the more people will want to participate.
Right? I also thought it was a novel idea. Plus, it shouldn't cost much to do.
With Miss Charlotte's help, everything has gone smoothly. Our new mechanical kites are already available to purchase from a stall in the harbor. We're having trouble keeping up with demand. We also gave quite a bit of thought to the price. We didn't want it to be too much more expensive than a traditional kite.
Cool! Turns out you two and Ningguang like playing with toys just as much as Paimon!
Toys? They're not exactly toys.
You see, Miss Kuching? That does seem to be everyone's first reaction.
Although kites are one of our most time-honored cultural relics, outside of their use in certain ceremonies, I suppose they're considered playthings more than anything now. But to me, there's so much more than that. Think for a second about how remarkable it is that a flimsy paper kite attached to a string has the capacity to touch the sky. It is this slight piece of paper that also carries the weight of Liyue's cultural traditions. There's an old poem that goes, "O kite born of paper, flying true in sound, a lone traveler wanders, just waiting to be found." In the past, poets from Liyue used kites to symbolize a feeling of longing, or evoke the peacefulness of idyllic rural scenery. If the people of today can derive enjoyment from this activity, they will not only be more likely to better appreciate the tradition, but also to pass it down to the people of tomorrow.
That's the Kuching we know, always thinking 5 steps ahead of anyone else.
Well said, Miss Kuching. I've learned quite a bit myself.
As long as you're willing to listen, I'm happy to share. I also know quite a lot about the various folk traditions related to kites. For example, whenever a kite blew away, people would say it was the Adepti that summoned the wind to take it away as an offering. That way, you can turn an unfortunate event into an auspicious one.
What about something more fun? Do you know anything like that?
More fun. Let me think. Oh, I suppose we should first talk about how kites are made. It's another one of our precious forms of traditional craftsmanship. My grandfather told me that back when he was a boy, children learned the art of kite making step by step from their elders. First, you use the thin strips of bamboo to construct the frame. Then, you draw a design of your choice on a piece of paper, paste it onto the frame, and tie on the string. Then, you look towards the sky and release the kite to soar among the clouds. Some people write down certain names or desires on their kites, cut the string, and let them fly free. Others may place particular thoughts or meaning into the design itself.
Are certain designs associated with certain meanings? I'm gonna jot all of this down.
Well, for example, kites in the shape of a butterfly typically symbolize freedom, happiness, or the desire to break free.
Fascinating. What else can you tell me?
The scissored-tailed swallow is the most classic design. It symbolizes good fortune and joyful tidings. Different colors also have small variations in meaning.
Are these commonly understood meanings and symbols in Liyue? Kind of like the language of flowers in Fontaine.
I believe so. Most have probably heard something about it from their elders at some point. If you're interested, Miss Charlotte, I have several books on the topic that I could lend you. They could be a useful reference.
That would be a huge help! Great! Looks like I've got the outline for quite the article on my hands.
Perfect! We're gonna take a look around.
Then I'll show Miss Charlotte to my home for a little while. I almost forgot. The Ministry of Civil Affairs is hosting a kite flying contest on the night of Lantern Rite. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to bring a kite and participate. The rules are simple. Whoever flies their kite the highest and furthest within the time limit will receive a special honor along with a secret prize.
I've already prepared more than enough empty film for the event. I can see the spectacle already.
Maybe tone it down a bit, Traveler. What if we don't win?
Traveler.
It's better to keep a low profile until the competition starts. Then we'll give them a show they never saw coming. Oh, that secret prize is ours.
Then I'll look forward to seeing your performance.
You bet! See you then! Wait, Trevor?
Wait.
Take a peek to your right. Do you see those two people lurking over there? Is it just Paimon? Or were they staring at us the whole time we were talking to Kecil and Charlotte just now? They seem fishy. Great, so it wasn't just Paimon.
Terlihat mencurigakan.
Do you think they could be treasure hoarders? They always seem to be stirring up trouble during Lantern Rite. Oh, Paimon's sick of waiting around for something bad to happen. We should strike first, you know. Foil their plans before they even begin. You go right, Paimon will go left.
Wait, Paimon.
Oh.
It is with such an air of urgency that you appear before us. Your comportment suggests you believe us to have committed some heinous crime. Perhaps you could enlighten us as to your intentions.
Whoa, where did this fuddy-duddy come from? You should be the one doing the enlightening, buddy. Don't think we didn't notice you eavesdropping. One look and we could tell you were up to no good. Tell us everything, starting with your name.
One bears no secrets before two such as yourselves. You stand in the presence of the mighty and illuminated Adeptus, Moon Carver. For the purpose of this foray into the mortal realm, however, you may address one as Hojong.
I see.
You kidding? That deer's got his head stuck so far up in the clouds, there's no way he'd humble himself down here with the rest of us.
You may want to hold your tongue, Paimon.
Don't think that Paimon is gonna believe you just because you know her name. Let Paimon guess. You're supposed to be Mountain Shaper, right?
Indeed. Mooncarver and myself have descended upon the mortal realm for a visit. The two of you may call me Jiahu.
Huh. Looks like you did your research. But in our experience, the harder you try to lead us on, the more likely it is that we've got a big fish on our hands. We'll go straight to the Millilith and have you arrested for impersonating a Adepti.
Preposterous! Utterly preposterous!
Right. Tell us something that only an Adeptus would know. And it better not be some common knowledge that any person on the street could tell you.
During the last Lantern Rite, we gathered at Mount Hulao with Rex Lapis and made use of Cloud Retainer's supreme cuisine machine to prepare bamboo shoot soup. Perhaps you have some recollection? The flavor of that soup was more than enough to whet one's appetite. As such, Cloud Retainer assented to my use of the device beyond that singular occasion, providing other recipes to boot. Since then, one has dabbled in the pleasures of the culinary arts whenever time allows.
Dabbled? Upon one's last sojourn to your mountain, did you not immediately attempt to hide the device behind a chunk of amber as soon as one's presence was known?
Did one not speak up on your behalf but a moment ago? This is how you choose to repay that kindness?
One is simply trying to emphasize the veracity of our claim.
That does not mean you should reveal personal matters so readily. They might think one bears no difference from Cloud Retainer. Forget it. One does not have the breath to waste on such petty trifles.
That might have been more detail than we needed. Seems like you two are the real deal, and Paimon sorry. But, for beings as forgiving as yourselves, this is just water under the bridge, right?
You indeed have an agile mind. Cloud Retainer was not mistaken in her high estimation of you.
Paimon's still curious about something. It's just... Paimon can understand why Mountain Shaper is here, but why did you decide to come to the city, Mooncarver? It's not really your thing, is it?
It is but an inevitable eventuality. Long have the mountains remained strangely idle since Cloud Retainer's move to Liyue Harbor. With Lantern Rite near at hand, one would expect Cloud Retainer to provide us with an account of the festivities in advance. Yet to this day, she has failed to appear.
Cloud Retainer is hardly the forgetful sort.
One must never rest idle in the face of that which demands action. And since our acquaintances dwell in Liyue Harbor, we had to travel here in human form to avail ourselves of their aid, Cloud Retainers in this case.
But a moment ago, one heard you speak of a mechanical kite of sorts. It appears the essence of the situation has hitherto revealed itself. Now it is time for one to retire back to one's abode.
So you're not looking for Cloud Retainer anymore?
Perhaps there are aspects of Cloud Retainer's temperament that remain opaque to young Paimon. Given one's understanding, one can only imagine the anger that now consumes her.
Cloud Retainer is of a proud and arrogant disposition. She holds the belief that her skill in mechanics surpasses that of all others. One can be quite certain it is hardly with an open mind that she regards the arrival of this new technology.
One surmises that she has shut herself away, refused all company, and buried herself in the study of her own creations. To call on her would only invite her rebuke. However, if you do happen to cross paths with her over the next few days, do pass along one's regards.
Sure, leave it to us. Have a safe trip back, enjoy the scenery, and happy Lantern Rite!
Thank you for your kind words. We shall now depart.
We got all worked up for nothing, huh? All that trouble and it turned out to be people we knew all along. Well, it's still pretty early. Let's head over and check out the kite stalls. Paimon wants to see what kinds of kites we can buy to use in the competition. The bigger and prettier, the better.
Masih panjang, Bung. Nyangkut.
Welcome! Are the two of you looking to buy a kite? Would you like me to go over the different designs?
Ooh, a scissor-kill swallow! And a butterfly! And
This jade chamber design is our newest. It's been selling like crazy over the past 2 days.
Does it also have a unique meaning?
Of course. The jade chamber symbolizes wealth and abundance. The kite bearing its design is said to bring riches in the future to those who fly it.
Oh, now that's Paimon's kind of kite!
I apologize for the interruption, but are all your wares in order, Miss Genuine?
Yes, they're just over there. The paper, bamboo, and dyes. All the necessary kite-making materials.
Wonderful! I'll pack them up and get a guard to deliver the goods to Yilong Wharf for you.
Yilong Wharf? Oh, wonder what that place is like during Lantern Rite. Paimon would love to go take a look.
Well, if the two of you are interested in going to Yilong Wharf, then could I trouble you to find Gaming and deliver these goods together?
Is Gaming the guard you just mentioned?
Well, yes. The communications office handles shipments and transports around Liyue. He works for the Secure Transport Agency, one of our sub-organizations. The problem is, many of my colleagues have taken leave during Lantern Rite to spend time with their families. So, our available workforce has seen a dramatic decrease recently. If you were willing to help out, then I could get a head start on my next appointment.
You do seem really pressed for time.
Oh, wonderful! You will, of course, be compensated for your efforts. Now, at this time of day, Gaming should be somewhere in the vicinity. Just follow the main road until you see the head of a Wushu dance costume. Should be on your right.
Wushu dance.
Be sure to come back if you'd like to buy a kite. I'll even give you a
Oke, waktu bertemu Gaming.
Wait, I thought we had an agreement. Loser buys dim sum tomorrow? Look at you. Scowl like that for much longer and your face might stay that way. Hey now, don't be upset. How about this? You extend the invitation, and I'll pay.
No way, Gaming. You're always the one picking up the tab. I'm not trying to be a sore loser. I just didn't expect you to come from behind to win like that.
That was nothing. All in a day's work, friend.
Perfect! Gaming is here. Sorry to interrupt, Gaming. We just spoke to a guy from the communications office who needs you to deliver some goods to Yilong Wharf.
Oh, it must have been Longzhou. Looks like I've got work. Gotta go.
Sure, go do your thing. Let's have a rematch when you get back. I won't let you win so easily next time.
Gaming.
Alrighty, you can hand the goods over to me. Must have been heavy hauling them all this way. Let me take them off your hands.
It wasn't that bad. It's just some kite-making materials. Plus, we didn't have to walk very far.
Kite-making materials. I see. I'm glad it wasn't too much trouble, Paimon. Still, I owe you one. Ah, and you must be the traveler. It's nice to meet you. Thanks for your help.
Huh? You know us?
There probably aren't many in Liyue who don't. I've heard quite a bit about you two. You're quite well known around these parts. Oh, and please excuse Longzhou if he forgot to thank you. Take my thanks in his place. He's a good guy. He's just been super busy lately, running around from place to place. Don't be too... So, you here for Lantern Rite?
Yep. It's always so lively this time of year. We were actually hoping we could tag along to Yilong Wharf and have a look around.
Perfect. We'll go together then. I'm good with directions, so just follow me. Trust me, I know my way around. We can exchange stories, tell jokes, or just chat along the way. Oh, and there are a couple of good places to eat along our route. We can stop and grab a bite when it's time. The ingredients are fresh, the portions are generous, and the prices won't break the bank. You can order anything, and I promise, you won't be disappointed.
Order anything?
Hey,
did you really have to call Paimon out like that in front of our new friend?
Don't worry, I understand. I joke around like that with my friends, too. It just shows how close you are. Do you need to pack anything up before we hit the road? I can wait.
Nope, our things are always packed and ready. We're pretty much travel experts at this point.
Oh, that's right. Then let's get going. If we run into any trouble, you can count on me to protect you. I am a guard, after all.
Penjaga. Alright. Sheesh. Shoot it. Okay. Wah, ini tinggal cerita aja ya. Xiaxing. Oke. Adeptus. Fresh. Udah ada info dari Quick kan belum ya? Aha. Oke, lagi questnya. Pokoknya ambil scene sebanyak-banyaknya. Rencana gue itu sih, ambil scene sebanyak-banyaknya. Gue nanti gue edit kalau misalnya ada waktu.
Ooh, the docks are just a bit further. One step at a time. Hang in there.
Aduh,
wait, get behind me. I'll handle this. Hey, what gives?
Have a little taste.
Just wait here a little. Shower me with the...
Shine down!
Into the wind.
Mighty mythical beast!
Bro.
Done.
Seems like we really can't go anywhere without running into treasure hoarders, can we?
Yeah, it's not uncommon for deliveries to get intercepted. That's why this job needs guards like us.
Paimon was impressed by your moves back there. You seem like a real pro at your job.
Real pro.
Oh, that's not a skill I learned on the job. It's just a hobby. Have you ever heard of wushu dancing? Really? Wushu dancing is famous in Chunyu Vale. Performers might be invited to promote the opening of a business or to spread good fortune during a holiday season. But I must admit, it has nothing on the popularity of the Liyue Opera. I'm also well aware that people in Liyue Harbor aren't exactly jumping at the chance to watch wushu dancing. So it's not something I do full time.
Huh? You have 2 jobs? How do you have the energy to do all that?
It's not that tiring. You just have to take a rest.
Ah, Paimon gets it, so you must sleep a lot then.
Not really. Just yesterday I stayed up all night playing cards.
Oh.
Let's go. The docks are just up ahead.
Ngomong gua harus gue buka semuanya dulu ya, buka travel. Burung pelikan.
Finally, we can rest. Ooh, Paimon's shoulders are so stiff. And her stomach so empty.
Sorry. Did I push the pace a bit too much? I mean, you were the ones who said you were travel experts.
Liu is just too hilly. Floating up and down so much. Where's Paimon out? Oh, Paimon was finally satisfied and now her poor stomach's empty again.
Aw, would you like some winter melon cake? I have some on me that I bought from a store.
Yes, Paimon will take all you got.
You might want to pace yourself there, or you'll be too full to eat a proper meal later.
Paimon never gets too full. Just like you apparently never get tired, no matter how far you walk or how many jobs you work.
Ah, I see. Then here you go, Paimon. And for you, traveler. Enjoy. And here's some for you too, Uncle Bosu. Don't think I forgot about you, my friend. I'll just set it to the side here for you.
People person.
was going to starve to death for a minute there.
Terbang.
That close of a call, huh? I've been eating wintermelon cake ever since I was a kid. You can buy them from all sorts of places, whether it's a small vendor on the side of the road or a big restaurant in the city. But each place produces cakes with a slightly different flavor. If you like these ones, I can give you the address of the shop I bought them from. I'll just have to check when we get back. Oh, all my jabbering must be making it difficult for you to enjoy the scenery in peace, huh? Don't be afraid to tell me to zip it for a little while, okay? Really, I won't be offended.
It's okay. Paimon is kind of enjoying listening to your chitter-chatter.
Aw, a fed Paimon is a happy Paimon, huh?
Hey, Paimon can be in a good mood anytime she wants.
Yilong Wharf. Sasa unlock gitu. Satu tempat lagi teleport.
Need some fresh bamboo for this.
Woohoo! We're here!
Don't forget your things, and watch your step as you get off the raft, or you're in for a swim.
You're in for a swim.
Thanks for the ride, Uncle Bosu. You take care of yourself now. I'll see you some other time. Okay, follow me. This way is fastest. We'll have to take the elevator up to the secure transport agency.
Agency. Tahu loh, semoga sih dekat apa tempat telenya dekat sini sih. Oh di sini deh. Kira di sini. Gue belum buka soalnya. Udah susah lah. Mungkin di sini gue bisa langsung muter sini. Ntar aja.
Something on your mind again? Let's work through it together. Two heads are better than one.
Just use some elevator. Swim. Sial. Satu detik telat ya. Alah. 1 detik. Lagi ikutan Bang, Yula aja. Oke, boleh. Babung Finzi, boleh. Apa? Yula ya. Oke. 822 403 106. Yula, oke. Yula, oke. Let's start dulu, HP oke. Oke, kritik gede, kritik gede, mantap. Oke. Oh, signature weapon, nice, Song of Broken Pines. Oke, physical, makanan sih oke. Kritiknya tinggi ya, bagus ya. Oke. Oke. Wih, anjay. Wah, bagus banget nih. Oke, physical, damage stack. Oke. C2, siap. Hero goip ya, gila. Talent triple crown. Oke. Lebih mantap ya, apa namanya? Yulanya udah jadi ya, mantap. Yulanya udah jadi, mantap. Apa nih? Fadil SP. Game apa ini Bang? Ini game Genshin Impact namanya bro. Ini game Genshin Impact. Game namanya adalah Genshin Impact ya bro. Pasti tau lah Genshin Impact lah. Oke, lanjut lagi. Asasnya Yula Dental Mastery 0 ya. Kayaknya nggak apa-apa sih. Soalnya fokus di itu ya. Physical damage bonus 104%. Bagus ya. Wah, anjay, ini Yulanya mantap sih ini. Baru udah damage-nya gede nih ya, mantap ya. Damage-nya udah gede. Set. Crit sama crit damage-nya dapat lagi. Mantap sih ini. Udah Constellation C2 lagi. DOC Form. Gak tau sih ininya apa. Antepur Crown. Kayaknya sih ini Yulang udah ngupload tengah-tengah lagi sih ini, udah bagus sih ini. Motek udah tinggi, maksim crit damage tinggi. Udah mantap sih ini. Kayaknya sih nggak perlu ada yang udah di tengah-tengah lagi sih. Ya, tapi kalau dari kalau dari artwork juga udah oke sih. Tapi ini dapetin crit segini mantap sih, jujur aja sih. Jadi seimbang sih, dapetin crit dengan jumlah tinggi. Seimbang banget. Anjir, crit 10%, attack 19,8 hampir 20%. Mantap. Game pekop ini. Gitu kali apa ya Bung Vinzi ya. Udah Yulanya udah mantap sih ini, apalagi apa namanya crit rate-nya dapatnya lumayan sih. Physical damage bonus. Oh ya, sama ini jadi pas cepet ya ini ya. Mantap. Part of millennial movement. Attack udah 40%, normal charge attack. Oh, udah jadi sini. Yula sih udah jadi sini. Ini. Coba Bang, IM-nya ditingkatin lagi minimal 25-an biar ada damage support conduct. Soalnya Yula enaknya barang elektro. Bisa sih. Bisa jadi support conduct bisa sih. Apalagi kan kalau di sini kan sudah ada ini ya, sudah ada sudah ada Raiden Shogun ya. Bantu My Raiden sih Bang. Maksudnya begini sebenarnya kan emang butuh seenggaknya emang ada elemental mastery ya. Oh ya, walaupun sudah ada Raiden Shogun, tapi seenggaknya enggak apa salahnya ada nilai elemental mastery ya. Maksudnya ya jangan elemental masternya jangan nol juga sih sebenarnya sih. Elemental masternya itu jangan nol juga, walaupun seenggaknya ya ada isinya lah, seenggaknya itu elemental masternya. Ada isinya elemental masternya seenggaknya ada isinya lah. Paling ya, tapi kalau mau dirubah lagi juga agak sayang juga sih, sudah cukup petolok sebenarnya sih. Kalau saya mau nyari IR kalau mau nyari elemental mastery juga agak sulit. Rasanya artefaknya sudah bagus-bagus semua sih. Misalnya ada yang mau diperbaiki juga susah ini juga sih nyarinya sih, jujur aja sih. Udah terlanjur lah istilahnya itu. Paling kalau misalnya mau ada yang mau dirubah paling yang ini gobletnya ini. Tapi ya susah sih. Crit damage ada crit segini. Plus bisa dapetin elemental mastery juga udah jujur sih udah chance-nya sih udah susah sih. Paling ya tinggal mau grinding untuk physical damage lagi sih. Tapi kalau menurut gue sih ya udah nggak perlu ada yang otak-atik sih. Paling ya tinggal nambahin itu aja tinggal nambahin ini aja tinggal nambahin bantuan dari karakter aja. Tapi untungnya udah ada Raiden Shogun sih, jadi nggak masalah sih. Tingkatin lah IR-nya 135 ke atas, barengin dengan cara lain. Kayaknya udah nggak terlalu, untuk energy recharge juga nggak perlu. Menurut gue sih juga nggak perlu terlalu tinggi juga sih. Mana energy recharge 6%. Yang nggak perlu, tapi kayak nggak perlu itu siapa namanya. Tapi kayaknya udah oke sih. Tapi kalau menurut gue sih kurang lebih udah oke sih ini. Kurang lebih palingnya tinggal tinggal ya gimana komposisi karakter lain sebenarnya sih. Komposisi karakter lain seperti apa sih. Gue bingung masalahnya Bang, ulti si Yula kadang nggak kepake, yang sering ulti malah Raiden. Ya memang begitu sih sebenarnya kan. Emang Raiden kan berfungsinya kan ke ke ini ya lebih ke energy recharge kan ya si Raiden Shogun. Tapi kalau menurut gue sih apa namanya, tapi kan kalau menurut gue sih ya nggak masalah sebenarnya sih kalau salah itu. Tapi kalau mau pakai energy recharge juga agak sayang sebenarnya sih, nggak usah pakai energy recharge. Kalau mau solo 140% ke atas. Balik lagi sih, ini sih balik lagi sih. Tapi kalau menurut gue sih udah oke sih. Asalkan ya apa di timnya itu ya pakai komposisi timnya itu ya itu apa namanya karakter yang bisa mengenergy recharge. Selain Raiden Shogun ya si itu apa namanya si Shinchu bisa. Raiden Shogun apa Shinchu bisa, Yula sama Shinchu juga bisa kok. Yula sama Shinchu bisa kok. Yula sama Shinchu bisa. Raidennya 270 cukup kan bang? Cukup 270 cukup banget, cukup banget. Walaupun standar sih, cukup. Oke, apa tuh namanya? Aloy. Aduh, Aloy gue nggak begitu tahu sih. Aloy, oke. Aloy jadi karakter yang sebenarnya juga jarang banget kepake sih untuk Aloy sih ya. Malah gue rada aneh bang, Raiden Yula Mika Bennett. Raiden Yula Mika Bennett. Lo nggak ada masalah, kenapa aneh? Asalkan bisa ulti ya, bisa ultinya cepet dipakai ya. Ya Raiden Yula Mika Bennett yang ada masalah juga kan. Bennett kan juga boosting damage, Mika nambah attack speed. Mika nambah attack speed ya Mika. Oh Mika benar, Mika nambah attack speed. Yula bagi baju utama, Raiden sebagai itu jadi charge, nggak ada masalah sih, nggak ada masalah. Asalkan dia tujuannya kecape sih, Oke apa nih Bung Raiden Wolf ya. Oke apa namanya untuk Yula, untuk Aloy Skyward Heart. Oke artifak 20 Noblesse sama elemental burst. Oke. Dan itu mau cek sih 6 10. Oke. Aloy 31203. Oke, jujur untuk Aloy gue nggak begitu tahu sih apa namanya untuk gitunya untuk Aloynya. Soalnya gue juga walaupun gue juga punya Aloy tapi ya nggak gue bikin jujur aja sih. Nggak gue build Aloynya nggak gue build ya. Gue jujur aja sih gue kurang begitu tahu si Aloy sih bikinnya seperti apa. Tapi kayaknya ya cas attack-nya itu apa ya? Cas attack itu menghasilkan apa ya? Gue lupa deh Aloy itu. Apa nih? Satu lagi bang, kalau misal nih Bennett masih oke pakai Skyward Blade atau Aquila udah bang, gue pakai Skyward buat bantu up IR. Aquila simulak Aquila, Skyward Help atau Aquila? Aquila aja sih. Pakai Aquila lagi apa namanya? Pakai Skyward aja sih. Aquila yang mana ya? Gue lupa deh Aquila. Kayaknya pakai Skyward nggak apa-apa sih. Tapi Aquila damage-nya jauh banget. Bennett sebenarnya sih lebih fokus ke ini aja sih lebih fokus untuk energy recharge aja sih. Apalagi kan Bennett kan sebenarnya kan intinya kan tuh ultinya, bukan damage yang Bennett hasilkan. Lebih ke arah ultinya sih. Sama ya itu sama dari kombinasi artefak dari ini noblesse sebenarnya sih. Tapi kalau menurut gue sih ya pakai Skyward cukup sih, Skyward cukup. Aduh, kalau gue nggak begitu hafal nama-nama weapon deh, gue nggak begitu hafal sayangnya. Oke, ini cryo damage bonus, elemental burst damage. Tapi kalau pakai dia pakai nobles oblige 2 set juga nggak begitu. Alloy juga nggak begitu itu ya, soalnya kan alloy kan juga burstnya kan juga. Bukan tipe support ya juga ya. Coba lihat Yulaku bang. Oke. Yulanya dia itu. Oke, dan ada elemental mastery 7 lumayan. Oke. Bikin of red sea. Interesting. Oh, lu pakai dia pakai lu campur ya. Physical damage sama ini ya, Pelvel sama bloodstain ya. Interesting. Oke. Ini crit rate, oke. Physical damage. Attack-nya juga oke. Oh, tapi lo diselingin sama energy recharge juga sih ya, elemental mastery ya. Iya, lu selang-seling gini sih, Lu bikin selang-seling. Circlet-nya pakai attack percent gacor nih. Circlet. Circlet gacor sih, gacor aja sih, tapi ya. Crit damage-nya ada sih, ini 22%. Crit damage-nya ada sih, ini jujur aja sih. Crit damage-nya ada. Konstelasi channel talent 9910. Oke. Tapi ini Yula sih gacor sih ini. Tapi ini Yulanya lebih ke arah ke solo sih ya, Solo damage ya. Tapi sebenarnya tapi sudah ada Raiden Shogun seharusnya sih ya nggak perlu terlalu pusingin untuk itu juga sebenarnya siapa. Nggak perlu terlalu pusingin untuk nggak perlu terlalu pusingin untuk energy recharge juga sebenarnya sih untuk Yulanya sih. Tapi ya mantap sih ini ada elemental mastery terpenuhi, energy recharge juga tinggi juga. Anjay, ini mantap ya. Wali. Attack 1800 nggak nanggung. Attack 1800 sebenarnya nggak nanggung. Karena apa? Karena ketolong dari elemental mastery-nya. Ya apa? Ketolong dari elemental mastery juga sebenarnya sih. Dari weapon juga bisa sih, dari weapon karena weapon kan di sini kan dia kan statsnya kan ya attack-nya kan increase 20% lah ya. Attack-nya sini kan increase 20%. Jadi ya stats kecil juga ya itu juga sih loh. Cocok sih. Ya sama tapi ini juga ya tergantung sikon akun orang lah ya. Memang ya cocok aja sih 1800 sih, tapi kan ya punya itu ya cocok aja bikin 4 pale flame, 2 pale flame itu setnya apa ya, gue lupa deh setnya apa ya pale flame itu ya. After defeating opponent, charge attack increase charge attack and bikin 4 pale flame tapi charge attack-nya kan kayaknya Yula nggak perlu terlalu charge attack deh. Yula nggak perlu charge attack deh. Kayaknya juga nggak perlu charge attack juga sih. Soalnya kan yang ada kan dan ditanya itu kan kalau 4 pale flame kan charge attack-nya kan gitu. Yang jadi nambah. Tapi kan ya oke lah, cukup sih ini. Mantap sih Yula sih, mantap. Tinggal ya preferensinya masing-masing aja sebenarnya sih. Tergantung preferensi masing-masing sama punya weaponnya apa sih masing-masing. Satu ada yang mungkin lebih ke arah seimbang ya, lebih ke arah keseimbangan. Satu lebih fokus ke damage ya, Tapi menurut gue ya selagi lo bisa Intus para labis sampai 12-3 itu sih ya kayaknya nggak perlu pusing lah gitu sih. Selagi lo pada bisa nyusul 12-3 sih. Spiral habis sih. Halo Sepuh. Halo Adeptus. Halo. Thank you udah mampir Masku. Thank you udah mampir Masku. Thank you. Jangan lupa subscribe-nya Masku ya. Jangan lupa subscribe. Thank you banget. Thank you. Sepuh. Kejar Genshin. Sepuh. Teh ya. Masalah gini bang, itu hero riranya Amir 2 tahun sekali. Bukan kalau ya, bukan mah. Kalau mau bilang ya, emang 2 tahun sekali, emang 2 tahun sekali sih.
Oh, well, how should I put it?
Aneh bukan sepuh bang, masih jupuk. Masih jupuk ya, enggak juga lah.
Do you see that group of people over there?
Ya, Evan aja lah.
Those are my relatives.
Wow.
Tapi nanti juga bakal ada riran lagi kok, apa namanya?
Once they start buying things, they won't stop perusing till it gets dark.
Nanti kan juga bakal ada riran lagi nih di patch berikutnya kan. Kan patch berikutnya kan rencana kan ada 3 banner. Di satu fase. Ya situ kan kalau misalnya lu beruntung ya bisa dapetin si itu lagi siapa?
It's not that.
Bisa dapetin si ini juga apa? Bisa dapetin si.
I'm just not that good at dealing with my family. It would be best if we could steer clear of them. I'll explain more when we have the chance, but right now we've got a job to do.
Sepuh. Wah, sudah mau jam 6 ya? Sudah mau jam 6.
The left side looks pretty packed. Let's go straight. Slow and steady wins the race.
Sudah mau jam 6. Udah ada hasil dari quick count belum? Gue belum baca lebih tahu apa lagi sih. Ya kalau salah ada berita dari quick count ya siapapun di presidennya ya terserah aja sih.
Let's wait here for a second. Maybe my aunt will leave.
Ngomongin Genshin Impact Outcast Taruh gue gini juga ya. Terbang kalau 4 papel masih banyak pikiran dan masih memperbaiki Furina dan Bunavia. Dikarin ada hunter pet. Waduh, banyak sumber loh ya Raiden.
Turn left. Run.
Sumber.
To the right and...
Oops.
Wow, you guys are good. I'm impressed.
Hunter Pass.
That was nothing. It was a piece of cake. Oh, winter melon cake to be exact.
You really liked it, huh? Ooh, you know what? I'll buy you a whole bunch and pile them so high you could swim in them.
As long as you don't wind up drowning, Paimon.
Hey, Uncle Jergway. These are my friends, the Traveler and Paimon. They came to deliver some goods with me. So, I guess I'll go ahead and take these over to Uncle Yongzan then?
Yes. Thanks for your hard work. I should thank you both for your trouble as well. Please take a seat and rest for a bit. I'll prepare some tea.
No need. We'll be off soon anyway.
Hey, we're already here, aren't we? No harm in taking a load off for a bit. Plus, I know the Secure Transport Agency has some great Songhua tea stashed around here somewhere. I promise you, one sip and you'll be hooked. Anyway, you just sit down and relax, Uncle Jergway. Who would I be if I just sat here and let you go through all this trouble? Leave this to me. I have to be up and about to drop these goods off anyway. What's a little extra time on my feet? Oh, you aren't too picky, right, Traveler? I know Paimon prefers things on the sweeter side, so I won't steep the tea too long. And I'll add some dim sum pastries on the side.
Dim sum pastry.
You noticed what Paimon likes?
How long have you two known Gaming?
Oh, not long at all. We just kind of tagged along on his trip to Ylang Wharf. He's just a super welcoming guy. We became friends, you know, just like that.
That's just how he is. He's the attentive sort. Really knows how to look after his own.
Crimson.
A while ago, one of our guards had to take off work. Said his joints were hurting due to the rain. Gaming personally went all the way to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get some medicine for him from Dr. Baiju, then traveled through the night to deliver it back to him. That young man has such a good head on his shoulders. How can anyone not love him? I mean, there is his dad, but well, ask anyone else.
Uncle Yongzan says he doesn't have the personnel to spare for this delivery right now. So what do you think, Uncle Jurgway? Should I go ahead and deliver it instead?
Feels like we've troubled you enough already.
It's kite-making materials, though. Could be for a kid. I'm sure the sender wants it delivered before Lantern Rite. Oh, by the way, here, have some tea.
All right, then. Deliver it if you want to.
Ooh, are you free in 2 days? How about we grab some dim sum from Shinya Kiosk? My treat, and don't even think about trying to pay.
Whoa, that's way too generous of you.
Don't mention it. Just think of this as a thank you for all your help. Besides, the thing between me and my family, it's a long story. It might take some time to tell.
Sounds good! Paimon never says no to free food.
Alright, then I'm off. See you in 2 days. Oh, and Paimon, make sure not to eat too much before then. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Is he underestimating Paimon? She's just gonna have to show him how much she can really eat. Anyway, is Gaming's family situation really that complicated?
Golput ya.
He has such a happy-go-lucky personality. Plus, he's an enthusiastic and diligent worker. It's hard to imagine a guy like that
Ya
being
kecuali buat
troubled by
mereka yang
much.
mungkin yang emang
How should I
kondisinya
put
itu
it?
apa?
Since he already plans to tell you himself, you don't need an old man like me to add my 2 cents. You seem to be around the same age, so you might have a lot in common. Perhaps you could help him talk things through. Consider it a favor to me.
Gitulah. Kadang emang uang itu bisa membuat orang untuk menutup mata sih, menutup mata dan kuping.
It can say,
Jadi ya,
we provide aid in
gimana ya?
spades. Couldn't hurt to advertise our services, right?
Well, I can certainly arrange that. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Wait, seriously? Paimon was just joking.
It's cool.
But if you're going to get us something, she'd much rather have...
Seems like Gaming really has rubbed off on you.
Oh.
Would you like some more tea? I think there's some left.
Oh, kalau mencetnya kalau gimana? Hilang.
We came all this way and still haven't gotten a chance to look around the wharf.
Nyampingin aja dulu lah, nggak apa-apa.
We should see the kinds of kites they got. Maybe they'll have ones you can't find in Liyue Harbor.
Lah, tapi kok itunya nggak ada ya? Kenapa nih?
All right then.
Apakah kalian kena
Please
serangan
do let me
fajar?
know if you'd like more tea. You're welcome to stay as long
Serangan
as you
fajar.
like.
Lumayan serangan fajar tuh. Dapat Welkin. Dapat Welkin sih ya.
Only with solid practical training.
Oh, sejam segini. Ntar aja lah. Salah. Serangan fajar, fajar
What are you
menubrah.
doing here?
The way you speak. One might have presumed you were displeased to be in one's presence. Take note, Paimon. You could learn a thing or two about how to respect your elders.
Ugh, starting on the elder stuff already, huh? Shouldn't you be back in your cave tinkering away at some kite-related thingamabob or something? What brings you out here? And what's with that huge box next to you?
Cave.
Ah! Paimon gets it. You're here to do some shopping, aren't you?
Shopping.
And what of it? The Qixing's decision to integrate Fontanian technology into said
Fontanian.
kite-flying competition is of no consequence to oneself. Did you expect one to willfully compete against the whimsical trends of worldly sentiment, or perhaps even fall to petty sulking over such?
It's not that we think those things exactly. That's just what Mountain Shaper and Moon Carver told us. Or Chia something and Ho. Paimon can't be bothered to remember what their aliases were called.
Aliases called.
Anyway, they went to Liyue Harbor to look for you. They even asked us to pass along their regards if we ran into you. Xianyun?
Xianyun.
It appears time has quite flown since one's arrival in Liyue Harbor. How could one have forgotten about those two old fossils?
Dikatain fosil, gila.
One shall have to bring them back some divine herbs to atone for this slight. Nay, given that one has ventured all this way to Yilong Wharf, tea would be more advisable. A great thought has illuminated one's mind once again. One is reminded that certain purchases have yet to be made. Perhaps you two could wait here whilst one performs this task. It'll be but a moment.
Huh? Wait, here? You really just gonna ditch us here to watch your stuff?
Ditch us.
Oh, that woman really just does whatever she wants. Hey, not you too, Traveler! Oh, all this Paimon bitching is super not appreciated.
Appreciated.
Just come back soon, okay? Paimon doesn't want anyone to try and steal the stuff.
Welcome. Please have a look around. We only sell teas of the finest quality, sourced directly from Chaoying Village. Might I recommend the Sunglo variety? It's one of our specialties.
Now, that sounds promising. One will bring some back for those old fossils, and all 2 boxes will do.
Wonderful. By the way, we're actually running a special Lantern Rite promotion. Buy 3 boxes, get 10% off. 4 boxes will net you 20% off.
20% off 4 boxes. This merchant strikes a fair bargain. One might as well give some to Morax and Ping too. Then 4 shall suffice.
I see. Are you intending to give these as gifts? If so, perhaps I can interest you in these exquisite gift sets. Buy 10, get half off. Look at the magnificent design. And the red ribbon gives quite the festive flair, don't you think? Such a gift would be sure to impress any lucky friend or family member.
10 boxes. Seems rather excessive. But if one factors in the conqueror of demons and one's disciples...
Waduh.
10! A nice round number, don't you think? Of course you do. I'll even shave a little extra off the price for you.
That is agreeable. One will... I will have these boxed up then.
Of course, right away.
I see you have quite the eye for fine items, mademoiselle. Perhaps some of my wares might also be of interest to you. I'm a toy merchant from Fontaine. You'll get nothing but the finest and most intricate clockwork toys Mora can buy here. Each one sure to be a source of endless amusement.
Perhaps you could enlighten me then. When should said amusement be derived?
Well, that is, of course, best understood by playing with them yourself. If you could wait just a moment, I can bring one out and give you a demonstration.
Demonstrasi.
There is no need for that.
Mademoiselle.
Give me your newest and finest model, and be sure to package it securely.
Ah, of course. Here you go. The instruction manual is...
I can do without. Thank you.
Asik.
Many watchful eyes surround this place. If one were to be spotted purchasing a mechanical toy such as this, a child's plaything no less, would only invite scandal. There is no harm in bringing it back to study in secret.
Oh, Xianyun, did your shopping go smoothly?
Naturally. One may not delight in social interactions, but that does not mean one lacks said faculties.
That's right, in the right thing. With the burst.
And you two? Are you not here to purchase things?
We just haven't had time yet. It doesn't look like there are any kite stalls around Elong Wharf, but it does look like there are lots of goods from Fontaine.
You are also planning to participate in the kite flying competition, then?
Also.
One means to say, you along with all the other youths. One has been entreated to share one's kite-making expertise, and indeed, there was little one could do about such persistent supplication. One moment energetic and earnest, and dejected the next. One had no choice but to acquiesce to these requests, and thus, one will be organizing a kite-making workshop to provide personal instruction in this art form.
Oh, who will be participating then?
Shuyu, Shenhe, Ganyu, and Yayo.
Yayo.
Wow, that's quite a few people. Also, this is all pretty well, Xianyun, but it's not like you have to make your own kite to participate in the competition. You can just buy one ready-made and call it a day.
Call it a day.
Ha! You speak of those equipped with the mechanical lifting device, do you not? 'Tis nothing but a crude piece of mortal machinery. The mechanism that one has developed was the fruit of millennia of meticulous study. Let us not speak of the source of the mechanism's power, but rather its structure. It is composed of materials as light as bamboo and as strong as iron. This composition grants it the lightness of weight to ascend into the sky and the durability to follow the wind for many a mile. It is built with a series of intersecting rods that... Never mind. It is unlikely the two of you will understand, even should one expend the effort to explain. One is better off saving one's breath.
It sure seems like you want to talk about it, though.
So, will you be attending the workshop or not?
Huh? Wait, you've been trying to invite us this entire time?
Seems interesting.
All right then. No need to prepare the materials in any case. One has it all sorted. Arrive at Mount Outsong in 2 days. I shall be expecting you around midday.
Are you leaving? Don't you want a guard to help you with that big box of yours?
Surely you jest. One goes as one pleases. For what reason would one need to rely on another?
Yep. Yup.
It can float? What kind of invention is that?
Invention.
One calls it the floating toting device.
Unik-unik ya.
Huh. She seems pretty proud of that one. Look at her walk down the street. She seems so confident, but everyone around her is looking at her all funny. Paimon wonders... never mind. But anyway, that box of hers seems to be full of those mechanical lifty thingamabobs. Not that Paimon was peeking or anything. She just, got a bit unsteady for a second and accidentally brushed the embroidery on top. And wouldn't you know it, all the stuff inside almost came bursting out. Paimon even went out of her way to keep it all together. All Paimon say is that Xianyun sure does try hard to save face. What did she call it again? A crude piece of mortal machinery? Paimon bet she just can't wait to take it apart and see how it's made. Totally. We should probably act like we didn't see anything, though. You know, in consideration of her feelings and all. After all, that is the propriety with which one should comport oneself when it comes to an elder, right?
Oke, quest complete. Masih banyak story-nya, anjay. Story-nya masih panjang. Yup, still a long way to go. Oke Masku, kayaknya sepertinya untuk streamnya kali ini cukup sampai sini aja dulu deh sepertinya. Thank you banget, thank you ya sudah menonton ya. Thank you, apalagi sudah subscribe dan juga memberikan like-nya. Thank you banget Masku, thank you banget, thank you. Ya mungkin ya sorry banget kalau misalnya mungkin dalam jangka waktu 1 bulan ke belakang ini emang tidak pernah streaming karena memang sibuk ya. Emang di awal tahun emang ya juga pekerjaannya banyak panggilan. Kayak sepertinya memang di bulan-bulan awal ini emang cukup ramai pekerjaannya, pergi kemana-mana ya. Semoga ya mungkin dalam beberapa minggu ini sebelum mencapai puasa ya, maksudnya sebelum mencapai puasa ya, semoga guanya tidak kemana-mana ya, tetap stay di Jakarta. Baru mungkin nanti setelah puasa atau mungkin ya nggak tahu lah, rezeki sih emang ya jangan dibiarkan pergi kali ya rezeki itu. Tapi walaupun ya pinginnya memang pingin stay di Jakarta ya, ya walaupun memang ya tuntutan pekerjaan dan juga digaji bulanan ya sudahlah. Oke Masku, thank you ya sudah menemani selama 3 jam lebih ini ya. Ya semoga bisa dalam waktu dekat bisa live stream lagi ya, karena ya tidak tahu lah pekerjaan apa adanya lah. Oke, sampai jumpa di live stream berikutnya ya. Thank you banget Masku, thank you banget, thank you.